We on?
We are on.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I'm Kevin, and that is Brandon. The walk-in music on this one is a little band I had really no idea who they are.
Yeah, they popped up on my YouTube feed the other day. Band called Savannah, which I just learned is from fucking Austria. Not bad for doom metal, I have to admit.
For a band, because everybody's always in that pursuit of that one band that they've never heard of, or whatever. But yeah, Savannah, the Healer, I guess, and it's brand new, right?
Brand new, yeah.
So check that out. The name of the band, it's not spelled the right way. It's spelled Savanah. So dock yourself an N when you're doing your search, and it's The Healer. And it's brand new, so it may actually take a little bit tough shit to find it. There's somebody on YouTube that's like a big resource, so I don't mind giving a plug.
Yeah, the Stone Meadow of Doom YouTube. I mean, dude has nearly 150 grand in subscribers.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to his shit. And he posts quality stoner doom metal from apparently across the globe.
Yeah.
Or around the globe. I'm not a flat earth guy.
I'm a cubist. The Stoned Meadow of Doom. Yeah, that guy. Check out his stuff on YouTube. You can lose yourself in it, I'm positive.
Absolutely. A lot of good shit.
All right, we got sidetracked by the metal side of it already, only because Savannah, not bad. We talk about the three favorite things we have going on, and that's the Mead side of business, the metal side of business, and the, shall we just say the MMA side of business. And we tend to talk, we're fans of all three.
Absolutely. There's always shit going on in the MMA realm. Yeah. Always.
Been a fun week. In the meantime, since the last time we got on, I'm not even drinking beer anymore.
Yeah, this friendship is close to over.
I'm on a diet because I was going to be a little bit of a fat bastard, in my opinion. So, no. So I'll go on this keto diet, and no beer. However, I can drink all the rye whiskey that my little liver wants to hold, and my little liver is exposed now on this diet.
Oh yeah, your armor rating is 10.
It's gone. I'm just flat back to just that rye whiskey, like sliding down with both boots first. But anyway, let's get into the Mead side of things.
Oh shit! We covered the additions
last week,
and the.
I do want to point out for our donors that are out there, the current batches we have. And Brandon's our inventory manager, because he's the one that looks at our inventory more than anything else.
I am our biggest supporter.
While buying bottles. You're the best customer we have, man.
I've 2017 belongs to Brogastraw.
The amount of mead that you've bought out of like the three batches we came out of the holidays with, and we thought, well, this will last us till maybe May or June, and we were right. But
didn't know it was going to be from a singular source.
Yeah, you're the biggest buyer of those batches. But we still have one bottle of Troublemaker, which we're going to donate to the meadery and crack when I can come off this diet.
Absolutely.
Like 2 bottles of long ships, I think, and probably 5 or 6, 7 bottles of batch 1. So.
Yeah, we're hitting that emergency klaxon sound.
So if you enjoy the stuff we do know.
Get to it before I do.
Yeah. Well, that'd be my recommendation. That's it.
If it's Wednesday and you're in the mood for a bottle of Mead, you better make it that Wednesday, because on Thursday it's time for me to do a little shopping.
Yeah, and it happens. It does happen. So donors, let us know and donate to our music, and we'll donate to your proclivities of supporting bootleg alcohol.
That's right.
Kidding only.
I'm not kidding. Fuck that.
So, on to the metal side of things. Interesting here. Let's go ahead and recap the week. Found out information that came in from pretty much one of our biggest fans in Austin.
Number one guy.
Had to do with a fella that used to be the bass player in Metallica. You could argue he got a raw deal. Talking about Jason Newsted.
Yeah, you could. I mean, really, the guy. I mean, he was with him for 16 years. And got a pretty raw deal on the Justice album, obviously. You have to have a hell of a sound system if you want to hear Jason Newsted's bass. or listen to the Injustice for Jason album on YouTube.
Yeah, which, by the way, is actually hilarious, and it doesn't even sound anything like it. You'll
Yeah.
probably actually go, yeah, less bass is better on this record.
If that shit had come out like 2 years afterwards, then maybe there would have been more of a debate, but it's been too long.
Yeah.
We're used to what we got.
But the thing is, this guy, though, for as much as everybody thought he might have got a raw deal, because Metallica didn't really treat him that well.
No, but, well, not as a human being at the start. I don't think he ever really got the respect he deserved.
No, I mean, if you have to follow up a legend that died early, I'd recommend don't do that.
Yeah. I'd say steer clear of that shit.
Yeah, Burton, the always going to be. It's the same thing as the cat that Randy Rhoads. Same thing. If you die young, like really young, and not through some stupid shit if you die through other matters that were not even that you're directly responsible for, because Burton died on a bus and Rhoads died in a helicopter crash, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that shit beyond their control. Well, man, that like moves you one step closer to sainthood.
Sure. Now, if it's hair on, then you'll always be popular. But
Yeah, you immediately assume godlike status if you're John Bonham and you like die on your own puke. Or somebody else's, or whatever the case might be.
What about like Mama Cass? Didn't she like choke on a chicken bone or something?
No, that was a ham sandwich, and she'd go fuck herself. No, choking on food is not cool. Not.
Mama Cass still alive in our hearts.
Yeah, and every time we have a ham sandwich. So, like, does my insurance premium go up?
But the article was about if he was financially all right.
They're still selling 5,000 copies of the Black Album, Metallica.
A week.
5,000 a week.
There are bands that can't sell 5,000 of a new album.
On a release, yeah.
Yeah, shit. It just shows that, hardcore Metallica purists will hate that album forever. Whatever. That's fine. Still one of the greatest selling albums of all time.
Let's face it, that album has basically made those guys be able to keep doing what they're doing, which I recognize as an album every 8 years. That's fine, or whatever it is.
Well, in the later parts, I mean, with the album we got now, we're good for a couple of years.
They should tell everybody, leave us the hell alone till about, 2022. I think that would be a fair
We'll
statement.
be in our 60s, and we'll be ready to record.
That's the whole thing. I mean, they're in their 50s now. And they put out probably what's arguably, for me, one of the top 3 albums.
Sure. Well, Metallica has always been Road Warriors, always been a touring band. Really more than a studio band. They, when they started out, Kill 'Em All came out in 82.
Right.
Ride Lightning came out in 84. Puppets came out in 86. Justice came out in 89. 3-year kind of deal there. And then Black Album came out almost a year after that.
So what are your favorite 3 Metallica albums? Okay. I'm going to give you my 3, but my 3 are going to aggravate the shit out of you. So let's do yours first.
Number 1 would probably be Master of Puppets.
Right. Okay, that's my number 1.
Yeah. My second one is probably going to be Load. One of the more...
Oh, I thought I was going to piss people off.
One of the more...
Never mind.
Yeah, no. Hey, fucking Load is an amazing album. I will make the argument that maybe it's not a good Metallica album, but it's a fucking amazing album.
Great album if some bluegrass band picked it up.
I can understand why Mama said, you start hearing fucking steel guitar, and I get it. Freak people out. The haircuts freak people out. I get it. That fucking album came out when I was 13. So it had a different impact on me.
Right.
It was the right amount of metal I wanted at the time.
I thought you were going to try to aggravate everybody and say Saint Anger. But
no, I put that at like 6th.
I love it. I love the fucking sound of beating on a paint can, but in a water bucket.
Yeah, you know what else is really great? No guitar solos.
No guitar
to speak
solos
of. That's fine. 9-minute song with no guitar solo.
Okay, the third one.
Shit.
You want to say the new one.
I do, but goddamn, man.
See, but then it's Metallica, so then you feel like you're kind of jumping the shark, as everybody always does whenever they have a new record out.
I'd actually probably put Death Magnetic above Hardware.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I know you.
I don't know, man. This new diet might be fucking with your brain. Death Magnetic was like Metallica's apology album to their fans for St. Anger.
Sorry for St. Anger.
Yeah.
Right.
And they fucking nailed it. But I think it was great because the last one wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I can go back and listen to Death Magnetic from beginning to end and enjoy the whole thing. Hardwired, I can. There are still some things that bother me about the album. It's as far as like the yearly releases, fucking definitely top 3.
Well, there are 2 tracks that bother you. I know. I kind of get it. I look at the whole thing. It's kind of genius at the start, genius at the end, and I'm all right to deal with it through the middle.
Oh, yeah. Spit Out the Bone is probably one of the heaviest songs they've done since since the late 80s.
80, yeah.
Since the late 80s.
86, yeah. All right, I probably go Master Puppets, the new one, and probably the Black Album, 3.
Yeah.
Now, if that makes me mainstream, tough shit. But
probably. Well, in the eyes of the purists, probably. Because you didn't say kill them all.
yeah. Well, I would have went Ride the Lightning, but that's at 4. So
Yeah.
The new record just bumped it out of the top
Right.
3. So
But your familiarity with Metallica has kind of built
it's increased
recently.
because of this current.
Yeah.
Well, Livewire is actually it reintroduced me to Metallica because apparently I only check out Metallica every 20 years. So, yeah, that's not necessarily true. But I mean, the Black Album's the last one I was truly excited about. Load and Reload was okay. And I kind of really lost track after that. I started giving you shit about Saint Anger and then went and listened to Saint Anger and went, oh, okay. Now I know why I'm giving him shit. So,
Well, and I'll even say this about St. Anger. It has its pros. It does. There are a couple good jam songs on there.
sure.
And they're like the title track. St. Anger is really good, the heavy parts. But the breakdown into the verse, it goes mellow, but the drums don't go mellow.
Yeah.
Because you can't turn that fucking saucepan sound down.
Yeah. No, that's true. So we're on Metallica. Let's talk a little bit about Lars.
Yeah, Lars, and I saw this on Metal Injection, and it was basically just like, you won't believe who Lars Ulrich thinks should replace Metallica if he's ever had
You
it.
won't believe in the name Lars is there. You got to know it's possible. Everything is possible.
Yeah, you got to know, it could be fucking anybody. It could be his father, for all we know. He said that if he ever needed to be replaced in Metallica, if he ever left, and if he had to pick his successor,
Right.
it would be AC/DC's very own Phil Rudd. Ex-AC/DC's very own Phil Rudd.
Which sounds really stupid. Look, I at the risk of angering like the 3 or 4 AC/DC fans we have left, listen to this podcast. Because we've aggravated them time and time
Oh,
again.
yeah. They deserve it.
See, that's one thing we could never argue about necessarily. But anyway, here's the problem, is that AC/DC's their ability comes from the fact of keeping everything very simple.
And very similar.
Would you rather go and have to hang out an afternoon in a park throwing a frisbee around with an asshole that graduated from Oxford or some fucking redneck from West Virginia that kind of likes to go to strip clubs once in a while? You let me know who would be the better candidate in
Let us
that
know in the
situation.
comments, folks. No, I mean, you can't disagree with it because this is coming from Lars. I just think it's a really
And I think
odd
Lars
choice.
is always full of crap. I think most of the time. He'll throw stuff out that's kind of outrageous, but he backs it up, and then he goes crazy about it. And if you don't believe me on that, you can ask the Napster people. But
these are his words.
okay.
If I could pick it, if I could hear, I was going to do it in Lars's voice.
Oh, please don't.
Occasionally I can do a good Lars Ulrich, but I decided against it on this
You
one.
do a great Yoel Romero, but
Thank you. Yeah,
Lars,
we'll save that for that next fight coming up. But if I could pick it, if I could hear somebody drum behind James Hetfield's riffs, I'd take Phil Rudd. Just having his kind of vibe, like what he would do. And he's probably my biggest source of inspiration when we did the turn away from the super progressive stuff, the crazy stuff after Justice, when we got into the Black Album and the Load stuff. When it got a little more about the bounce and the riffs and the feel and the groove and all that. Phil Rudd, he's the top of the pyramid. Hearing Phil Rudd play behind James, that'd be pretty cool.
So Phil Rudd could fill in for the shit records.
Yeah, basically from Black Album to Reload, Phil Rudd's your man. You start fucking getting Master Puppets on there, or the fucking Machine Gun Blast and one. Phil Rudd's gonna die. He will die up there.
Phil Rudd could do great on every album of ours that were the worst albums that we ever put out.
Why don't we get Angus Young to do the solo on fucking Disposable Heroes too?
Oh, yeah. Because, well, I don't know. Are they... AC/DC is done, yeah?
I would think so. Brian Johnson is gone, and Phil Rudd is
well,
gone.
they shuffle him off in an unceremonious manner.
Yeah.
I already didn't like him. Now I really don't like him.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
One other quick thing. Interviewed Dave Mustaine recently.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that...
They didn't ask him about...
No, this has nothing to do with politics or anything like that. That's why I actually read it.
All right.
He says he doesn't fucking practice guitar anymore because of a spinal injury he had about 13 years ago, or 15 years ago in 2002. Which, as soon as he had that damage, he broke up Megadeth.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was never going to play. He wasn't able to use his left hand very well.
Right. Yeah.
And but then he came back. He was able to record again and play, but apparently, like he can't headbang anymore, even though he does kind of sometimes. And he says he can't practice anymore. He saves it all for playing on tour. But even then, there are days where he can't even play.
Man,
that's pretty sad. I mean,
I'm assuming they have a cat like filling in. I mean, you don't go.
No. I mean, ever since he's come back, he's always been the guitar player.
Yeah,
he plays.
But they've got to have if he can't play some shit though.
I mean,
you have to have a guitar tech standing by.
I'm
Those
sure
guys usually riff as good as the guy that plays the guitar.
Absolutely, like Metallica when James Hetfield turned into a giant fireball.
Right.
And was at the wrong place at the wrong time for pyro.
Right.
The guitar tech filled in for a couple weeks on the tour.
Yep.
So, I mean, shit, that could be your opportunity. But it is kind of a bummer because that last album that they put out, Dystopia, is one of their best.
Right.
So, hopefully he can play for a couple years. I mean, that's pretty. He's kind of getting to be an old ginger.
This week in metal history, Iron Maiden put out 25 years ago this week, Fear the Dark.
Underrated.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's underrated only because nobody ever talks about it.
Yeah, it's underrated because people can't remember it.
Well, no, okay, but let me qualify that by saying that they did better stuff before and better stuff after. So does it make it immediately not good? Well, it's not their best effort, I will say.
Right.
But it was kind of a themed kind of a concept. And for Iron Maiden, they hadn't done that since back when Paul Di'Anno was their lead singer.
Right.
So it kind of really, I appreciated it. Now I wasn't running around blasting it, but it wasn't really my thing at that point in my life because that was 25 years ago. But I can appreciate the fact of what that did, and it was really a concept album, which was virtually unknown for Iron Maiden, and well after people were putting out albums like that, because that was what 92.
I think so. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right when bands started having to make some choices.
Right.
1967 on this day, Our Experience came out in the UK, and then a year later on this day, Jimi Hendrix was arrested by police in Toronto for possession of hashish and heroin.
Big day for Jimmy.
Which Hendrix claimed had been planted on him.
Of course.
So obviously that's the truth. Let's see, birthdays. Let's see, we got some good ones here. Burt Baccarat was born today in 1928.
All right, well, if that's your style, man.
Let's see.
Because wasn't that he was in Austin Powers the second one?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Steve Winwood was born today.
Yeah, 69 years of age.
Billy Squire born today.
67 years of age.
And let's see. And I believe yesterday we just celebrated the birthday of Hootie, Mr. Darius Rucker.
Well, he's country now, yeah?
Little fly.
I guess you could make the argument he's country before. He just had a rock band behind
No,
him.
he was Hootie before he was this country incarnation. He will always be the Hootie.
Well, happy birthday to those people. And
happy birthday, Hootie.
to you if you are celebrating a birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
That's good enough for our, let's see, we got Mead behind us. We got metal behind us. Crap, we're almost out of time. Let's get to the MMA part.
And it's our biggest part. Get ready for a big one, folks. Yeah, 211 tomorrow. But before that, the UFC today announced Daniel Cormier defending against John Jones, which hasn't been confirmed as the main event or not. You would
the
think
one in late July?
at 2:14.
2:14.
The one after 2:13.
Which, if you're keeping track, that's the right way to keep score.
That's right.
Christ almighty. All right, so, is Vegas taking bets on Cormier? I don't know. With
The press conference was all about Cormier being like, is he even going to be there?
Pulled taint, or is John Jones going to get high and go kill all the children in the Jedi Temple?
Yeah, to use Cormier's words, you're either going to be taking steroids, snorting coke, or sandblasting a hooker.
Or Cormier is eating his donuts going, oh, I can't make that weight cut anymore. Gets the AKA injury.
Yeah. John Jones did have a pretty funny quip for him because Cormier would not let go of the cocaine thing. Just wouldn't let go of it.
Was Cormier jealous?
Cormier
was
he was straight up heel. I mean, he was just trying to play off everything Jones had done wrong because the crowd was hating on him. Like they
Cormier
always.
from the 1950s. Anybody doing drugs is wrong.
He made a comment about cocaine again, and John Jones said, I snorted cocaine the weekend I beat you. And then Cormier kind of had nothing for that, except then he's like, oh, so you've done cocaine more than once. Is that right, John? I'm ready for him to fight and be done with this shit.
Yeah.
The bickering is fine, but I'm ready for this rivalry to be over.
Now, everybody that's listened to this podcast for, I don't know how many we've done now. They probably know going all the way back, 20-some-odd podcasts. No, I'm not a fan of John Jones.
Well, it's tough to be his fan.
Yeah, you can't. But I'm certainly not a fan of Cormier either. They're really, Daniel Cormier tries to play himself off as like some kind of good guy, but he's got every quality that of somebody that you would really come to really loathe. He's a self-promoting stooge who really is kind of dumb, really, in most ways. And
that sounds like the comment I made about Garbrandt last Saturday. It's like, I'm a big fan of Cody Garbrandt's, but he strikes me as being a little stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after watching The Ultimate Fighter, which, by the way, he's down 0-4 to Dillashaw, he does strike me as a little slow.
Which doesn't exactly make him a bad fighter.
Nothing against his fighting. I mean, his fighter IQ is high.
Make sure if you got to kick somebody's ass, you got him with you. But if you got to go to your physics exam.
Yeah, if you're going to be on Millionaire and you need to phone a friend, do not call Cody Garbrandt if it's...
Or if you're on Wheel of Fortune, by God, you are taking your life in your own hands.
Want to buy a vowel and call for an L. There was that. They announced a couple more fights. Michael Chiesa and Kevin Lee.
That's already been on the books though.
Yeah, but they had a big row at the press conference.
Oh, they made something happen.
Yeah, Kevin Lee actually threw a punch at him.
They better knock that shit off.
I'm not a fan.
That's a pretty big fine.
At face, I want a really good face-off. I think they're a great aspect of building up the fight. I don't like it when these fighters like headbutt or anything. Nunes took kind of putting, when they put their fucking hands up, and her hand was right under Shevchenko's chin.
Yeah.
And then she fucking goes ahead and nudges her fucking chin with it.
I thought you're risking a fine. The organization, well, now the flip side is too, I'm sure somebody in the promotion is like, hey, make something happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. In this era of building stars rather than
let's
promoting
face it,
fighters.
IMG is losing their ass from their $4.5 billion investment in the UFC because they've been doing everything completely wrong.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And it's, I don't know, man. We're pretty early into the year, and it hasn't been that big a year yet.
No. Now, they had to scrap an entire pay-per-view, which they've never had to do.
No, they've had to.
Jones, not because they spent their load.
Yeah.
They had nobody that was worth a pay-per-view.
Right.
The organization had to recognize it. That was like around January 21st or something because they went so hard through the holidays. So then they actually legitimately took off about 3 weeks or something like that between fights. We have one. We have the one coming up this weekend on Saturday.
211 tomorrow, and then 2 more weeks.
One week,
no,
and then
next
it's Memorial Day.
The 28th.
Yeah, but you don't own a calendar. There's a 1 week layoff, and then the next
from May 13th to May 28th.
Yeah, because
that's 2 weeks.
No. From the 13th. Okay, so next week is 20th, and then the weekend after that's 27th. But see, that fight's 28th. It's a Sunday because the Monday is a national holiday. There's only a 1 week layoff.
Between May 13th to 11.
Yeah.
And UFC Fight Night 109 on May 28th.
Yeah. There's
That's
1 week
15
layoff.
days.
I know. That's a 1 week layoff.
Oh, just from having them every week, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They have 2 fights in 3 weeks. That's not that much of a layoff, but it does kind of resound with the 3 week layoff that was prior.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that one was huge. But then
So-
after the
so
28th.
they have a fight. They have 2-11, then a week off, and then they fight the next weekend.
Yeah.
And then from that, though, they run all the way through mid-July, and who the hell knows how long after that. They're going to spend their load for the summer. Don't look for a lot of great fights in August or September.
You'll have some good headliners. The June 10th fight is the Mark Hunt Lewis fight, Derek Lewis fight. June 17th is Holly Holm Betch
Oh,
fighting.
no, I'm not arguing about the ones that we already know about. I'm talking about the ones that follow after July.
Well, that's what they talked about at the press conference this week, today, I mean.
Okay.
And as far as like the people, it's people you've never seen at a press conference before, like Joanne Calderwood, which I think is good. I think it's good to get some of these other fighters that have been
She's right sexy.
She's adorable. And I love to see her do well.
Sure.
I mean, she has a voice about as intimidating as a Chihuahua. But
or,
gosh,
or,
she's
or Anderson Silva.
or Anderson Silva, or Yoel Romero for that matter. It's good to see some of these fighters that are still, clawing and scratching to get to the top start to get a little bit of face time on what was a pretty big event.
Right.
Because I'm glad that UFC's not doing the seasons thing anymore, Like the every 4 months it was a different season.
Yeah.
And then that season was over and a new season would begin.
Right.
Like, no.
And then they try to come out with a new hashtag
And it's
shit.
and it's funny that wasn't under the WME banner because that sounds like something WME would do.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, as far as fights announced, nothing super huge outside of the DC Jones rematch being announced.
That's fine. I mean, we've got a lot of time to talk about that.
Oh,
shit.
absolutely.
But really, it is. Once you hit Memorial Day weekend, there is a UFC event, like it or not. And some of them are going to be weird events too that are in Europe or something like that. That'll take place at a weird time.
Yeah.
But which might be fights a normal fan doesn't even really pay attention to. But if you got Fight Pass, that's probably what those will pop up on. But you have a solid fight schedule all the way from Memorial Day weekend without an interruption through at least July, what is it, July 10th or something like that I know of. So
it's good to have this 3-week drought over. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I think this is the best card UFC has put together so far this year.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, but then again, I mean, come on, man. How hard is it to beat what they've put together so far?
Well, indeed, yeah. But I think even if this would be good against pay-per-views they ran last year, just on the main card alone. Prelims look pretty good. The main event, which they're going to be on FX this time, not Fox Sports 1.
Really?
I'm sure there's probably some sporting event going on tomorrow.
Guess.
Hockey, maybe?
Maybe, but that's weird. So, okay, well, I'm not sweating bullets because
No.
I actually still have that bullshit from Dish, Sling.
Sling TV.
So,
The Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier main event in the preliminaries. For a guy that just lost, well, didn't just lose, it was about 6 months ago. For a guy rebounding from a title loss, it's like a must-win for Eddie.
it is. Eddie Alvarez has got to get the win, but Dustin Poirier's got to show up too.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked okay in his last fight, but man, he was getting slugged the shit out of. I mean, he's very much a middle-of-the-pack fighter.
He did not recover well after the Conor McGregor fight.
Connor kind of changes a lot of people's careers, though.
It does. That left hand changes lives.
But you got Eddie Alvarez, though. You're right. He has to prove something right now. And I think he will.
I think so,
he
too.
will absolutely. This fight's not going to see a finish. Or it's not going to go to the full 3 rounds.
No, unless if Eddie decides to take it to the ground, it might.
Maybe. But his tendency is to wear people out. Dustin Poirier is a little bit more of a flashy guy on the ground trying to throw some stuff. But we'll see.
I like Eddie Alvarez by decision.
I like Alvarez by a knockout somewhere.
Oh.
A TKO.
So you think, what, ref stoppage late?
Yeah, probably late second or late third.
All right, next up, Frankie Edgar and Yair Rodriguez.
Yair Rodriguez is probably maybe the most overlooked guy that is in the position where he is at, where he's kind of knocking on the door of the very top elite of his weight class. I think that's a guy, man, I love Frankie Edgar. That guy has got a motor.
Absolutely.
Against everybody except for Jose Aldo. But
in the bane of his existence.
Yeah, everybody else, he's got a great motor on him. But I think Yair is really, I think the guy's a step above. I think he is a true mixed martial artist.
And this is going to be his biggest test against Frankie Edgar. His last 3 fights, he finished Andre Fili. He got the split decision win over Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres. And then, of course, the promotion fed him BJ Penn.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason.
I mean, I think that Frankie has got the skills. If he's willing to go ahead and stand with him, I think Frankie's got the better skill set. But the problem is that I think Yair's got a better full set of skills.
Yeah.
Whether it be and plus on top of that, he's going to have a reach advantage. Say what you will, but Frankie Edgar's a midget. He's a bitch.
He's a wee boy. He's a wee boy.
He's a wee lad.
It is better to just swerve into Scottish and then right out.
You can't stay there. You can't live there.
You can't. Yeah. You can't. You just got to visit.
But no, I like Yair by a finish, probably a chokeout in the second round.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a pretty psychotic fucking battle. It's going to be hectic.
I think that'll be the best fight on the card.
I think the next fight is going to be the best fight on the card. Damian Maia fighting Jorge Masvidal. We are going to see some good shit in this fight. I think a lot of people are going to view it as a boring fight.
Yeah.
But you got a guy who's a striker going against a guy who's a grappler. The age-old fucking matchup.
Yeah, it is. But with a very big caveat on this. Now, let's not lie to ourselves. Masvidal had a great fight against Cerrone. If you're going to rise to the occasion and put out your best effort ever in your career, are you going to be able to keep replicating that every fight you have out? I say no, not with Masvidal, because
sure.
I don't think he's as disciplined as a lot of people like to think he is. Damian Maia has done nothing but age like a fucking wine from the Burgundy region. I mean, come on.
Dude, ever since, because he went back-to-back losses with Jake Shields and Rory.
Right.
And then just went on a fucking 6-fight tear.
Now, it's not a coincidence, the fact that that's about the time he ended up getting a great striking coach. Damian Maia learned how he may not be the best striker that's out there, and he's not. He's not by far. However, he knows, in a lot of what you learn how to what to throw, you learn how to what to defend.
Right.
And that's exactly what he has out of that particular camp.
Right. And Maia hasn't fought in 8 months. Since he beat Condon in August.
Yeah, that's still pretty quick.
But
quick turnaround for a guy.
I don't believe in the whole ring rust thing anymore, like staying active, you know?
I don't think it exists.
It's been proven wrong a couple times, even this year.
I'd say after UFC 100, it's rare that actually ever does fit somebody. It's actually the exception rather than the rule.
I think Maia, 3rd round, rear naked choke.
I think he's got 1st round rear naked choke.
Oh, shit. All right. And then we move on to our co-main event of the evening. Joanna, your jerk check.
Joan Jacek.
Jacek.
Joan Jacek.
Joanna champion facing
good enough.
Jessica Andrade. I was just being a dick.
These are with 115s.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Joanna is fucking just as tall as Chad Mendez is and weighs probably 50 pounds less. 5'6", comes in at 115 to fight. You know, Chad Mendez is probably walking around solid 155.
Well, that guy can wear barrels for clothes.
That's true. So I don't know if it's a question of if Joanna will win. I think the bigger question is she going to break her arm again or her fucking wrist?
She always breaks her hands. Somewhere in the metatarsal, is that it in the hands? Whatever the hand, the digits.
Every fucking time.
Every time.
That's why you see her fight twice a year.
I've got her by decision. I think that one's actually going to be a boring fight.
Yeah, and about Joanna, she hasn't finished a fight since beating Penne. That was the last fight she finished.
Well, let's face facts. She fought Carolina, and Carolina has got she's got a moose jaw on her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
She's got a hell of a chin for
all day long.
115.
So that's why Joanna, back when she was fighting, I think November that's the last fight she had. That's when I was down in Austin. Got to see that over at Jen's place and stuff like that with my brother Daryl. But so yeah, I think I like Joanna's chances to still continue to retain her belt, but we still have to talk about inertia at 115. She's the only one that really throws harder than anybody else at the 115 class.
Calderwood can throw some leather as well.
Yeah, but it's got to be right at a certain point. Joanna can take it at different points. She has a great hook, she has a great jab, and she has a great elbow if you're willing to be stupid enough to close.
And she does it all in volume.
Yeah.
It's multiple things.
Yep. Calderwood's got a great jab, don't get me wrong. Great hooks, but she only throws them one or two.
Yeah. Calderwood, when she knocked out Letourneau, that was a very, very impressive knockout for a 115.
But for picks, I've got the champ by decision.
Agreed. And the main event of the evening, Stipe Miocic going against Sagano, JDS.
Now, if you watch their first fight, which we did yesterday, just to kind of research some shit for this, but I mean, let's face facts. Junior Dos Santos throws thunder and lightning with those hands.
And he can do it for 25 minutes.
Yeah, and he kind of did. Now, let's not rain on Stipe's parade either. That guy has got a lot of cardio as well.
Sure. It doesn't show. That fight was in December of 2014.
When you have heavyweights.
Much has changed.
When you have heavyweights, you've got these two fat guys generally walking around because they can't cut to 205, so that's why they stay in that weight class, that weight division.
Stipe came in at 246. Junior came in at 245.
Yeah. I mean, those are guys. This is where we need a cruiserweight, honestly.
Yeah, something to split in the middle of that heavyweight
I think so.
thing.
Like, although it would kill the heavyweight division, probably.
You could make it like a 230 and then go from 230.
I think they actually need to go back and revamp everything, but that's just me. But so
or add more women's divisions.
Yeah,
got to have that women's flyweight. That's what people want.
I want to see them add a UFC women's heavyweight division, and you can't fight unless you're over 205, but you got to be under 265.
Oh, if you have to specify for a women's heavyweight division that you have to be under 265, I would like to see the list of women that are going to sign up for that.
Get that big ass.
That would be murder.
That big ass Kurgan-looking chick from Mexico out there.
Oh yeah, Gabby Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, let's test her. I'm sure her urine is like fucking bright green.
You can light fires with it.
She has to scream when she pisses because it's just too goddamn powerful.
Yeah. All right. So the main. All right. I'm going to go with the crazy flash knockout from JDS in the first round.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
You've kind of changed your stance.
If that doesn't happen, Stipe is going to win by decision.
See, I think if it goes 25 minutes, I still think Dos Santos' tank is going to be better.
I don't, because actually, as we pointed out, it's been a very different world for Stipe in the meantime. I like Stipe's advancement. I don't know if JDS has advanced much.
But gosh, I like your pick based off the fact that Junior is a really great boxer, and Stipe likes to advance and advance. He could get caught with a counter.
Yep. But I think if it goes beyond that, though, I think Stipe's got the means. I think his wrestling will be way better than it was in the first fight that they had.
Yeah, I still think Junior's going to be able to stuff him, though. I think Stipe will get a few takedowns for sure. He'll probably get them later in the fight.
Yeah.
But I feel if this fight goes past the second round, Stipe's chances of winning drop dramatically.
I don't think so. I think he had a very interesting experience after that fight with JDS. I think it was a come to Jesus moment to where he went, wait a minute, what do I got to do? Oh, okay, I got to not eat everything this guy throws. And I think it made him, if you started looking at some of the fights after that.
Well, outside of the Mark Hunt fight, which he finished him in the fifth, not because Mark Hunt was being defensive at all, he was being murdered by Stipe. That fight should have been stopped in the third round.
Yeah.
After that, his next three, he finished in the first round. He hasn't really had to use that tank at all.
No, I think that's the thing. I think that's the evolution of his technique. I think his technique is advanced.
They've all been
to the point.
finishes. I mean, knockouts.
I know. That's what's backing up my argument on that. That I really think, though, but I think it's counter to that particular line of thinking. I think that if Junior is going to get the win, he's got to do it in the first, second round. If he doesn't, I think Stipe's striking is so advanced now from where it was 3 years ago.
So we agree that Junior's probably going to win this fight just for different reasons.
If it's early.
I think if it's late, I think it goes.
See, that's where we're different.
We're always different here, folks.
Now, it's time for us to wrap this shit up. We're getting later and later every time. Hey, you got to stand by. Coming up next December, we're going to have an 8-hour podcast.
We should have like an infomercial come on after this.
I actually do have a commercial. 2 of them. Number 1, never shop proflowers.com ever.
Okay.
Because if you do, and it's an important Mother's Day occasion and you haven't seen your mother in a couple of years and you want to make sure some flowers get to her, don't go through them because they will eventually send you an email saying, hey, we can't deliver your orders, so sorry, man. We've credited your credit card, so,
go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. That's what it is. So never, ever, ever shop proflowers.com.
Noted.
Here's one that is an advertise. Well, it's a public service announcement for us. Our good friend Alex Pointar.
Indeed.
Search it out. Look, you know who I'm talking to. You people that are big fight fans. He's got like 5-6 videos that are up on YouTube.
Yeah, and he posts updates pretty much daily on his Facebook page.
Get on YouTube. Type in Alex.
Type in Alex Pointar.
ALEX POINAR.
And then type in RFO.
And, yeah. Well, because here's the thing, because I do want to promote his fight here, too. His fight is coming up on June 10th at Summit County Fairgrounds in Akron, Ohio. It is Revelation Fight Organization. And, Flow.
On Flow Combat.
It is on Flow Combat. That's where you need to be, which I think is actually, I think it's all the greater organization of things. Maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. Get Flow Combat. If you have to pay for it, definitely do that because what's going to happen is the organization gets a little bit of money, but our friend Alex definitely gets money. That's going to be on June 10th.
And trust me, friends, after what I've seen on YouTube, you'll get your money's worth just on that fight alone.
That's watching Brandon freak the hell out. Because, I mean, I'd seen this shit before, but because Alex and I have been on, Twitter.
I think next week I'm going to, because I've watched a couple of his fights, I'd like to, we're going to show them to you. And he's a bad motherfucker.
He's got murder in his hands. And even better so because he went to a good fight camp apparently in New York City, and so good on you, Alex. So
and good luck, sir.
That one's one we've got. I'm going to continue promoting that all the way up until the fight. Anything else we need to promote? Get out there, word, sponsors.
I will be outside the Roosevelt County Courthouse with a box, selling demo tapes of my new synth doom metal band. I'll be out there Sunday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You see, you can't fuck with a man on a weird diet that's making his brains get all scrambled.
No, now you think everything I say is truth.
Now I'm thinking everything you're saying is shit. That's what it is.
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's see. Metal you should be listening to this week. We're probably
Mead. I'm not going to pick anything because I want to keep some of the bottles we have over there.
Metal. I'm going to say I'm going to go with Sonic Opera.
I'm going to go. That's actually really good.
Which
blew my mind with those guys.
Weird one. Search that out on YouTube. I know from the 90s, but they incorporate a lot of sounds that kind of hit us in the right spot.
I'm going with
Atomic Opera. Sorry,
Atomic Opera.
Sonic Opera is like a weird Christian.
You got it mixed up with like Sonic Youth.
Atomic Opera. Yeah, check it out.
I'm picking Metallica's Load from beginning to end. Even Mama said, so fuck you assholes.
Fighters this weekend. I got Yair.
I got Damian Maia by just going Super Saiyan and destroying fools.
So we're both going Brazilian.
Yep. Ooh, it's breezy down there.
Shit, that's it for us.
Well, you motherfucking heathens. Thanks for sticking around with us for nearly 45 minutes. We'll try to keep the next one around 30.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, and we didn't even hit on a good story that we have. We need to do 2 podcasts tonight. We need to do this one and a podcast A.
Oh, okay.
I promised people we were going to talk about head shops.
Oh, shit. All right,
Let's wrap up the podcast. And for the first time ever, we're going to have an associated podcast to follow.